The theater was quiet in a soft and patient way, like it was holding its breath. The lights above the stage were warm and gentle, not too bright, not too dark. The air felt calm, almost heavy, as if everyone inside the room sensed that something meaningful was about to happen. The audience sat still, some leaning forward, others resting their hands in their laps. On the stage, a single microphone stood in the center, waiting. Menglong walked out slowly. His steps were careful, as if each one mattered. He was not smiling, but he did not look afraid either. He looked thoughtful, like someone who had traveled a long road inside his own heart before arriving here. He paused for a moment and looked around the large room. The size of the place did not seem to impress him. What mattered to him was something else, something invisible. Simon Cowell watched closely from the judge's table. He had seen thousands of auditions. He knew confidence, nerves, talent, and tricks. Still, something about Menglong felt different. It was in the way he stood still, not rushing, not trying to impress. Simon leaned back slightly, his hands folded, his eyes focused. Howie Mandel glanced at Simon, then back at Menglong. Heidi Klum sat upright, her face open and kind. Sofia Vergara smiled gently, curious but quiet. Terry Crews stood off to the side, watching with a respectful calm. Menglong took a breath. It was slow and deep. He looked at the microphone, then lifted his eyes toward the judges. "My name is Menglong," he said softly. His voice was clear but gentle, like a whisper that wanted to be heard. "I came here because I want to sing a song that is very close to my heart." Simon nodded slightly. "Tell us about it," he said. Menglong hesitated. The pause felt long, but not uncomfortable. It felt honest. "The song is called, 'Do You Miss Me Too?'" Menglong said. "It is about distance. About people who are far away, but still close inside you." The audience became even quieter. Some people shifted in their seats, as if the words had already touched them. Simon looked down for a moment, then back up. "Whenever you're ready," he said. The music began softly. It was slow and simple, like a gentle wave. Menglong closed his eyes for a brief second, then opened them and began to sing. His voice was not loud. It did not try to fill the room by force. Instead, it moved carefully, like it was walking barefoot across a quiet floor. Each note felt placed with care. The words came slowly, leaving space between them. As he sang, the room seemed to shrink. The large theater felt smaller, more personal. The audience was no longer a crowd. They were listeners, each one drawn into the sound. The song spoke of nights spent alone, of messages never sent, of memories that stayed awake long after the lights were turned off. Menglong's voice trembled just a little, not from fear, but from feeling. It was the kind of tremble that comes when truth rises too close to the surface. Simon Cowell shifted in his chair. His face changed, almost without him noticing. His sharp, critical expression softened. His eyes stayed fixed on Menglong, but his thoughts seemed to drift somewhere else. Howie Mandel pressed his lips together. Heidi Klum's eyes began to shine. Sofia Vergara leaned forward, her smile fading into something more serious, more touched. Menglong reached the middle of the song. The music grew slightly stronger, but still remained gentle. His voice began to crack, just for a moment. He did not stop. He did not pull away. He stayed with it. That small break in his voice made the song feel even more real. It was not perfect, but it was honest. It sounded like someone remembering a face, a voice, a feeling they had not seen in a long time. Simon felt a tightness in his chest. He tried to shift again, to clear his throat, but the feeling stayed. The words of the song were simple, but they carried weight. They spoke of missing someone without knowing if they were missed in return. Menglong's eyes glistened as he sang the line, "Do you miss me too, when the night is quiet?" His voice grew softer, almost breaking into silence. The audience barely breathed. Simon swallowed. His eyes filled before he could stop them. He blinked, once, twice, but the tears did not disappear. He looked down, embarrassed for a moment, then looked back up. He did not care anymore. The song continued, moving toward its final moments. Menglong's voice steadied again, not because the emotion left, but because he accepted it. He sang the last notes with a calm strength, like someone who had learned to carry their sadness gently. When the music ended, Menglong stood still. His hands rested at his sides. He did not smile. He simply waited. For a long second, no one moved. Then the audience stood. The applause rose slowly at first, then filled the room. It was not wild or loud in a chaotic way. It was deep and full, like a wave of gratitude. Some people wiped their eyes. Others nodded quietly. Simon Cowell clapped too, standing up. He took a breath and tried to steady himself. When the applause finally softened, he spoke. That, Simon said, his voice thick, was incredibly honest. Menglong looked at him, listening carefully. I've heard a lot of singers, Simon continued. But not many who make you stop thinking and just feel. You did that. Howie Mandel nodded. You didn't try to impress us, he said. You invited us into your story. Heidi Klum smiled warmly. Your voice felt like a letter, she said. A letter someone waited a long time to write. Sofia Vergara placed a hand on her chest. It was very emotional, she said softly. I believed every word. Menglong bowed his head slightly, grateful but still quiet. Simon looked at him for a moment longer. Can I ask you something? He said. Yes, Menglong replied. Who were you singing to? Simon asked. Menglong took a breath. My father, he said. He lives far away. We don't see each other often. But I think about him every day. Simon nodded slowly. His eyes shone again, but this time he did not look away. I understand that, Simon said. More than you know. There was another pause, calm and full. The judges voted, one by one. Each yes felt natural, almost expected, but still meaningful. When it was over, Menglong smiled for the first time. It was small, but it was real. As he walked off the stage, Terry Crews met him with open arms. Menglong accepted the hug, holding on for just a moment longer than usual. Backstage, the noise faded. The lights were softer. Menglong sat alone for a moment, breathing slowly. His hands trembled now, but he did not mind. He had said what he needed to say. Out in the theater, Simon Cowell remained seated. He stared at the empty stage. The microphone still stood there, silent now. He thought about distance, about people he missed, about words left unsaid. Sometimes, Simon thought, a song is not just a performance. Sometimes it is a bridge. That night, as the theater lights dimmed and the audience went home, the feeling stayed. It followed them quietly, like a memory that refuses to fade. Menglong had come to sing. But what he left behind was something deeper. A shared moment, a quiet question, and an answer that lived in the heart.